Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. We picked up a new project today and I wanted to show you guys the sort of first look at it. We were going to film the video at the guy's house, but he didn't really want to do that, and we were going to drive it back. We decided it'd just be easier to trailer it back and start working on it back here at the shop. So we've picked up a 1988 Chevy Suburban, and it's the 1500 half-ton model, four-wheel drive flavor. And as you can tell, it's all kinds of blue. Overall, it's not in bad shape, and we'll show you that here in a second, but it's got some issues. It's been sitting for at least 10 years, if not even longer. The guy I bought it from somebody who'd let it sit for 10 years. He hadn't driven it, and the people before that probably let it sit for some period of time longer than that. It's got vines and stuff growing in it, had to be sort of cut out of the barn. So it needs some work, obviously. It's the fuel injected flavor, so that'll be fun. And overall, it can start and run, but it has trouble idling. A lot of the electronics don't work. A lot of the electrical system is messed up, or so it seems. Gauge is not working, stumbling around trying to find idle, that kind of thing. So we're going to start diving into it and see what's going on, and then we'll go from there. So let's take a look around. So you can see the interior is pretty good shape. Obviously a lot of blue. There's some dirt on the carpet and stuff. We're going to try to steam clean that and see if that'll come out. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. The dash pad, it's got the typical cracking up here. It's pretty common. The headliner is it leaves a lot to be desired, we'll say. So that needs some work as well. The seats have some rips and stuff, so we're gonna go after replacing the seats. We'll show you guys how to do that, but we're gonna see what we can save on this thing first, and just sort of figure out some ways to save money on this one. The sheet metal is in real good shape for the most part. A lot of the common rod areas are actually in really good shape. So the rockers are pretty good, with the exception of one. We threw in a fender for another project. I got a set of rockers that came with it, another set of wheels. It has the third row seat. This one it's the right blue, but it's the complete vinyl seat, not the the combo that the rest of us has. So it's not an original seat. That's okay. We'll still use it. We might make all the other seats vinyl to match that one, since it's in such great shape. We'll just have to see how the rest of it turns out. The tailgate even folds down. Not much rust back here. A little bit of surface rust and some cancer showing up on the tailgate, but overall not too bad. It's got a hitch in the trunk, so that's good. This tire, some tape might fix that, but not much back here to be overly concerned about. This rocker has some, holes in it for positive airflow and such. So we'll take care of that one since he threw some in. But all the panels are pretty decent. They, got some oxidation pitting, whatever you want to call that, but not too terrible. Get a look over from this side. And here's the passenger side. More of the same. The seat's in pretty good shape, but here's some cool stuff I wanted to show you guys. So here's some cool stuff I wanted to show you guys. It came with a mountain of paperwork. It even has the original window sticker, which is pretty cool. So obviously it's Suburban with a tailgate. It's four-wheel drive. It was originally sold out of Lyle's Chevrolet in High Point, North Carolina. It's got the 5.7 fuel injected, obviously. 4-speed. It says 4-speed manual trans, but it's clearly an automatic. That's interesting. Chrome front and rear bumpers, tinted glass, bright metal hubcaps, AM radio. Ooh, screen for all the options. Drip moldings, inside hood release. That was an option? Wow. Well, these items are standard on this model, no extra charge. Wow, thanks. Front seat foam. Oh, that's nice of them to include that as a standard option. Sun visors, a padded instrument panel, spare tire, multi-leaf rear springs, in-dashed stowage box. Well, the glove box was standard, huh? That's interesting. And some of the options on here are kind of cool. It's supposed to have the 40-gallon tank. That doesn't look right. Looks like it might be a 30-gallon in here. Trying to read some of this stuff. Color-coded floor mats. Clearly those went somewhere a long time ago. It's got a 342 rear axle. It used to be two-tone blue. It had the light blue and the dark blue, but someone has painted over that dark blue since. It's got the Silverado package. It's supposed to be midnight blue and aspen blue, but like I said, somebody painted over that. Originally got 13 miles per gallon on the city, 16 on the highway. I wonder if it ever actually hit that number. Sold for $23,280 with $7,800 worth of options. It's kind of cool. I wonder what fuel price that's calculated at. It's probably a heck of a lot more than $1,000 now. But it comes with a bunch of service stuff. Digging through this stuff, it looks like it was owned by a company, a carpet company, and then a tile company. A fella, I bought it. The third owner used it to go hunting for bear, apparently, and then the guy I bought it from, obviously bought it from him after it had been sitting a few years, and he had not done much to it. He put some junkyard injectors in it, but that's about it. You can still see it has a lot of the like squirrel rodent damage. But yeah, it's pretty cool. It's, you know, it's a lot of paperwork. Shows the sort of the history of the truck. The window sticker, I think, is pretty cool myself. Clearly I did a lot of maintenance to it. And then it comes with the owner's manual, which is pretty cool. I have not seen one of these with the owner's manual before. And it's got the center console, which is pretty cool. The radio actually works. That's a neat trick. It's got AC front and rear. The rear window even goes up and down, which is a nice surprise. But as you guys can see on the outside, it's in pretty good shape. You know, the paint's faded. It looks like somebody tried to see if what they could do to it in a few spots right here. So there's some shine still in it. Get you guys on the outside over here so you can see. Some of the vegetation that was trying to swallow it back into the earth. This is actually kind of cool. These are vines that have come up through. Someone had to cut them out, you know, came up through the grill, and were nesting their way around in there. It's kind of cool. The engine is fairly complete. It's got the original manifolds on it. The AC compressor is still there. It looks like it's excuse me. It looks like it's actually still working, but I think it needs to be charged. The smog stuff, charcoal canister and all that stuff's in here, so nobody's really ever hacked on it. Most of the vacuum lines are still in place, which is kind of neat. That's usually don't get that. Didn't have the lid flip, so it doesn't, you know, there's some extra horsepower we can unlock once we flip that lid. Someone left us some Cheetos down there. That's kind of cool. I don't know if you guys see that. But there's a lot of you know, grass, seeds and crap in here. You know, dirt daubers, nuts and stuff from mice and squirrels. So it's clearly been having some stuff living in it for a while. Got these cool, you know, window covers. Most of the windows don't roll down, so that's a plus. It does have the dual tail pips, so you can have sound and smoke out of both sides. Doesn't smoke too much when it's running. I haven't run it too much though, because I know I need to get into there and I don't feel like burning my hands on the manifolds all day. But it's not a bad old truck. Really. The wiring's not even all that hacked up on it, which usually, you know, there's stuff spliced in all over the place. There's a couple unconnected things, so we'll see if we can chase that down. You got the, what is this, the oil pressure or coolant? You know, that's, you know, clearly I might have worked on this already, apparently. I think that's it. The frame's pretty solid. It's got that, you know, they typically start to get that rust on the cab mounts. It's starting on this one, but it's not terrible. It's got 54,242 on it. Judging by the brake pedal and the steering wheel, it's rolled over at least a couple times. So I bought a whole host of things for this. The previous owner said the alternator didn't work. I checked it. It's putting out, you know, about 13 volts. So could use some help. The air filter, it's pretty clean. Here's the #1 plug. It's been in here a while. AC Delco 43 TS's. So we'll swap those out. I wonder what they thought at General Motors when they were like, where should we put the dipstick? Like, I don't know, where's the worst place we could put it? Let's put it there. Here's all the old plugs in order. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They're in great shape, so there's really no need to change them. Alright guys, so next we're going to take care of these injectors. The guy I bought it from said he took like a set out of a junkyard truck, tried to clean them up the best he could and see if they would work. They seem to be working okay, but after changing out the plugs, it still stumbles around a little bit. The spray pattern on the two of them looks kind of off to me, so I'm going to go ahead and replace them because I've already got them. So I went to Summit and I got 2 injectors. These are I think they were $95 a piece. And then I also got this AC Delco kit. This is all the gaskets and everything. When you take the injectors out, we can replace those. So let me show you what we got to do. That way we all know what we're doing. Right, so it's really just, you know, these harnesses come off, and then these star bit, you know, fancy headed things, fasteners, whatever they're called, those come out, and this comes off like this, just threads out eventually. We'll set that somewhere where we'll lose it. Then we take these off. You got to pinch those 2 parts. We'll set that out of the way. Then there's this little gasket piece. We're going to set that over here. Hopefully don't we lose that. Okay, we'll take it off in this one. So this is it. This is the injectors, right? So these are the leads on them. The fuel comes in through the back, fills up this reservoir bowl housing thing back here, and then, you know, the injectors are powered through the engine computer. So we're going to take off all these fasteners because apparently they got paid by the number they were supposed to use. So anything worth doing is worth overdoing, I guess. So we're going to take this top plate off. Then that'll expose the injectors and the gaskets. We can just swap the new ones in, and we'll be good to go. See if we can find the right screwdriver here. Oh, look at that, first try. You guys were even here to see it. I can't believe it. Can't believe it. This hood release is really pushing in all the wrong places. Is that all of them? Okay, I think I got 800 screws off of it. Then we can just lift this straight off. The gasket doesn't look too bad. Everything in here is in, oops, spilling fuel everywhere. Mega mess. Okay, and don't drop any screws in the engine, whatever you do. Now, we can just go ahead and lift the injectors out. They should come right out. Is this screw? It looks like a screw somewhere, doesn't it? I'll be honest, I've never done this before, so we're doing this together. So, but don't let not having done something before keep you from coming outside and doing it. All right, what's going on here? Let's look at the new one in the box. What does it tell us? Look at that packaging. Looks like something out of a spaceship. Oh, it's already got the gaskets in here anyways. Dog nabbit. All right, let's see if we're supposed to just wiggle this thing out of here. It's not letting go. Come on. Oh, there's an O-ring there. Here's our old injector. O-ring that goes with it. That is badly beaten up. It's interesting. Fascinating. It's one injector. Let's go ahead and grab this other one out and let's watch the O-ring as we pull it out. Let's grab that O-ring. That one is also badly beaten up. Okay, let's set these out of the way. This lint-free rag and we'll clean this out a little bit. There's one. And two. Now we can go ahead and, so when you pull it out, there's these two spacers, one on either side, obviously, the injector and the O-ring. Make sure you pull all that stuff out. And then the new one, comes with all the gaskets. So we bought that whole kit without needing it. So it comes with that crush washer, whatever you want to call it, and the O-ring, and the ones that go on the bottom here. If you look on the old injector, so we had that crush washer and the O-ring sit up against this surface, and then at the bottom you have this O-ring, and then there's this little plastic piece here that is part of the injector itself. So we just have to put an O-ring on the bottom here, the O-ring up here, and that crush washer. Carefully open all this. This piece of felt. There's the O-ring we need. So much for that O-ring. Tip of the day, make sure you drop your nice clean O-ring right onto the dirtiest spot of the truck and then hit the ground. We'll pretend that didn't happen. Fuel systems don't have to be that clean, do they? Alright, so we're going to put that undropped O-ring right here. I wonder if we have constructions. Maybe we should read the instructions, since we've never done this before. Removal, we're way past that. Can't help us anymore. Installation. So first we put in this washer spacer thingy, whatever it is. Oops. That goes in here. And then what else do we do? Lubricate number 7 and install. Make sure it sits flat. Okay, so lubricate the O-ring so it doesn't roll on you. Put this O-ring in, lubricate it, okay? And then you put that spacer in there, you lubricate this top O-ring. I used it to lubricate the injector too. Now we can slide that whole thing in there without tearing that gasket. And then, there you go. And then there's a lot of different ways to lubricate O-rings. I have 2 different ways. One is this silicone spray that I use whenever I'm trying to get 2 rubber things together, helps it slide over. And another one is, it's like a silicone paste. You can rub it on the O-rings and everything. Will keep them nice and lubricated so that you don't rip anything when you slide it together. We're gonna do the same thing on this other side, but this time we're not gonna drop the O-rings. At least that's what we'll tell ourselves. Okay, so first we put in this spacer like so, just like last time, only on this side, and then we'll lubricate this top up. Show you what I'm doing here. Just, it's got a brush, but I take it and just kind of run it around the O-ring. It doesn't, you don't need too much, but you just want to make sure the whole thing is nice and greased up so that it slides. And then we'll stick this right in the top and make sure it goes inside the cup. Okay. Alright, that's that in there. And then we'll get that turning O-ring. Okay. And then we'll lubricate that one too. Probably should have got the new injector out first. See, I'm doing the same thing to this other one. Just like last time, we'll slide that O-ring on there. It's all greased up. We'll grease up the housing itself so it slides on that O-ring real nice. Just run it around here like that. Okay, and now we can slide it through there. Okay, and we'll wipe our fins off. And then it comes with this new gasket. We're gonna slide that. Make sure none of the side, this is this side up or something. Okay, we're going to put that right here so that we have a nice seal. There's, let me show you guys this. There's a bunch of different, there's, you know, obviously a bunch of different screws. These ones that go on the back are longer. I'll show you here. So you see how you got these two different lengths? Just like this. Make sure you guys can see that. So you got these two different lengths. These long ones go in the back. There's 3 of them. There's a tip. Let's say I never told you anything or taught you something. Like you see, they got to go through that thicker part of the housing. So those go in the back. So now we got to just get this old gasket material off here. I got most of it already. Just got to peel all that stuff off. Okay, new battery, and we're back. So there's 2 ways you can do this, or 3, a bunch of different ways, obviously. You can use a scraper, you can use a, you know, an eye poker outer on a die grinder. You can use a wire brush, a razor blade, any number of things. So you're not trying to take any material off, obviously, you're just trying to get it clean. And then there's a gasket back here that has to come off too. So we'll take that one off and replace it as well. Clean that up. Put the right gasket on there this time. So just like that, big end over the big end, small one over the small. Then we'll slap this back on there and bolt it back down. And we'll run the screws down, remembering that the long ones go in the back. Start in the center here. Each one has a washer. Don't drop the washers in the engine. Pistons don't like to compress metal. Who knew? It helps if you stay tight to yourself. That makes it, make sure it's actually tight. Otherwise it won't really be tight. Okay, and then these just slide right back over. And this clip grabs onto the top of the injector. That's why it's got that shape. Okay, 1. 2. And that's that. As you guys can see, we got everything buttoned back up, and I was going to change the plug wires, but I kind of want to just get this thing fired up to see whether or not it still has its stumble idle. I went ahead and put some new fuel in, and, well, not new, but more new fuel, and some fuel injector cleaner. and we're gonna go ahead and hook the battery up and fire this thing up and see how it goes. Had to take a brief weather delay. Go ahead and plug this. I'm not sure what it's for, but I'll find out later. All right, let's spin it over and see what happens. Take it for a ride, see if it's any better. Oh yeah, that's much better. Oh, sounds throaty. Well, it's running way better than it was before, that's for sure. The injectors definitely helped. The spark plugs are probably also contributing to that as well. Some new plug wires couldn't hurt anything, and I'm sure at least part of it has to do with whatever that vacuum leak was. We'll figure out what that piece is later. We're burning a healthy dose of oil over here from a nice vacuum cover leak, it looks like. So we'll have to address that with some new valve cover gaskets and see if we can get some of this other stuff working. But I appreciate you guys watching. As always, if you have any questions or comments, drop them in the thing below. And don't be afraid to get out there and try something new. So we'll catch you guys next time.